sister girl.
So today's topic is co-parenting. The do's and don'ts of co-parenting. We got...
Oh, you ready for me to talk now? J City 513, thinking it's a proper podcast. You know what it is.
And today we're going to be thinking about all the bullshit that comes along with co-parenting. So, do you have a co-parenting issue?
Co-parenting issue, paying child support. Let's start there. I think that's an issue.
So explain why that's an issue.
Because number one, how can you say, okay, well the government, so I have an issue with the government. The government can say, okay, you the dad, pay child support, give the mama money. On top of that, pay for the health insurance for yourself and the child because you pay child support. And then you may or may not be able to claim them on your taxes because you got to get the social from the mama, and that's usually a hassle and stuff like that. So it's just a laundry list of problems after that.
So to break down your list, you don't need to go through his mama to get his social. You on the birth certificate?
I am.
Then that's all you need.
Yes. Now.
So if you take the birth certificate and shot records, you can get the Social Security card. And if you've ever claimed him before, it should be on there. So some of the problems you're causing yourself.
Okay. So
another thing,
when
you get on child support, you should be asking the judge to set that up so that it's every other year that you can claim the child.
Yeah, most guys don't do that. Most guys don't even go to court when they get put on child support. They just kind of let it happen. That's what I did. And that was back in 2009, so over 13 years ago now. 12, 13 years ago.
Men still don't go to court.
Yeah. So
I just think men don't always take full advantage of their rights. I feel like men give too much power to these ladies, and I wish they would fight as hard to see and be involved in their kids as they fight over women in some cases, or for their guys in others. So a nigga definitely get into some shit and go to court and go downtown to see they nigga in jail, taking phone calls, etc., etc. I feel like they should get that same energy to their children. Because women wouldn't have as much power as they do if men start utilizing the fact that they do also have rights, even as the non-custodial parent.
But I think that's one of my biggest things, the child support thing. The mama's never responsible. I don't know. It's weird. It just seems like, I don't know. It's just...
So you feel like she ain't responsible because she ain't paying child support too, but she's the custodial parent?
I mean, how do we know? Let's see. So for her, because maybe the type of caliber woman I chose to have babies with, so she could get like free assistance, she get child support, food stamps, free health insurance for herself, on top of collecting my child support, and then I can't get no like tax break, no break whatsoever at all.
But that's not true. You only ain't getting a tax break because you ain't asking for one. You leaving it in her hands. So if you've been on child support since 2009, you can request a review. So I suggest you do that if you haven't.
It'll probably be worth. It'll go through the roof.
No, because I make more money than my baby daddy. And when I asked for my review, the child support went up, but I had to now carry medical.
Well, I think
I didn't expect to have to carry medical because I'm the custodial parent. So with medical, with me having a full-time regular job, comes co-pays, deductibles that you have to be paying for prescriptions, etc., etc. Office visits.
Yeah, so that's what I gotta do. But
you don't have to pay that other part. If she take them to the doctor, she's responsible for paying that. Or do she call you and ask you for that too?
I don't know how often he go to the doctor. But he's on my insurance though.
Yes.
So I guess he got two. I guess he's on hers and mine.
So if yours is through your job, then
yes,
like I said,
that's through my job.
She would have co-pays. It costs to go to emergency room. That's a co-pay. Expensive co-pay. Urgent care, expensive co-pays. If he takes any medications, co-pays for some medications, not all.
Yes.
So unless she's calling and asking you for that, then it probably evens out depending on his health situation.
Yeah, he's pretty healthy.
And then usually the custodial parent deals with the kid is sick, I gotta miss work, more so than a non-custodial parent. So do you step in those instances if your children are sick? Do you?
I cannot
take off
because I can't afford to lose my job. Or else you go to jail if you don't pay child support, or they block your license. Which that happened to me one time. I missed like so many payments and I didn't realize.
6 months.
It was some.
It was more than 6 months because I be on my baby daddy. Soon as that 6 month hit, I be writing them like, "Excuse me, can you suspend that nigga license?"
See, that's Jack.
And it ain't got there yet. Only because he's not an active parent. So I feel like he's always saying, "Hey, if you take me off child support, I'll just give you the money." But if that's the case with me, you wouldn't have been on child support anyway. So I'm not going to trust that you're going to do it. And as far as I'm concerned, you can be getting Social Security and she's going to get her money.
I was there for both of my kids, both of their mamas and all that. They put me on child support. One, because they didn't like me because I cheated. Two, is because they wanted to keep their assistance.
Yeah, that's mandatory. If you're on assistance. But then again, that goes back to the caliber of woman. If you get a chick on assistance that doesn't have any goals and aspirations to do better, they're going to do whatever they need to do to stay at the bottom.
And that's where we are.
So that's your fault. And you did it twice. So you have to assess the caliber of
5
person.
years left. 5 years, 5 months, 3 days. But I'm not counting.
Not if your child go to college.
Yeah, see, I heard about that. But it's weird because I went to college and my daddy didn't pay child support for me.
Then your mom ain't asked for it.
Well, I don't know why not.
Well, ask her.
I'm going to. Or maybe she did. And because I definitely went to UC.
I guess it depends, though. It's not.
But my mama used to say, well, my daddy didn't have to pay no more after I was 16.
That's possible, depending on how much he paid. Because I have heard of people overpaying their child support.
Yeah, I get checks all the time. It'd be like $1, $2 here, $2
that's so
there
stupid.
sometimes.
I think they do that. But I've heard of them overpaying in general. Like.
Yeah. That last year, I planned to stack up, and then, so it cut off. I planned to throw it like a bachelor party.
I just actually seen a TikTok like that. The guy had overpaid, so the baby mama was complaining because his child support got to stop when the kid was 16 and a half instead of 18. And she's like, "Oh, we're going to be homeless. We're going to be homeless and hungry, and it's all your fault because you ain't being a man and taking care of your kid." But as a woman, you should have planned for that. Because child support doesn't last forever. Child support in most of our cases, ladies, isn't guaranteed. It's not like we fucking with Chris Browns and Mekhi Pfeiffers. Just rich men, you know. We're not fucking with Terrence Howards, people that can afford to pay the child support. We ain't got no NBA players, no football stars.
But speaking of NBA players, what child needs $70,000 a month? That's how much Shaq had to pay for his like spouse report and child
but
support.
He got
it was all
5
mixed in there.
kids.
But $70,000 a month?
So the thing is,
there's no way.
I don't believe. I agree.
Come on.
But the way the court system sees it, your children are already accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
Yes.
And just because you're leaving the household, getting a divorce, etc., doesn't now negate that your children are accustomed to said lifestyle. Like the fact that 50 Cent's son complaining that $6,500 a month ain't shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't make $6,500 a month, so I'm sure I would be able to make that work for me and my child. So again, he lives a rich lifestyle, so that's what he's used to, and people aren't planning for when that doesn't happen. But I've always been the breadwinner as far as me and my baby daddy go. Like I've always made more money than he did.
Me too, because they didn't really work.
Again, your part.
See.
See, I had one kid. I stopped at one kid. He had two. It picked 2 chicks that wasn't doing nothing.
They picked me, but that second one,
back.
That's a whole nother topic.
Did they rape you?
It might be one in a possible for real, but
Right.
that's a whole nother story. But co-parenting, like, so say when we break up, like my baby mama had a problem with who I started dating, who I started messing around with. We lived in separate houses. It was always, yes, I was still screwing with her on the side
That's
a
your
little
fault.
bit. But
Going back to the sneaky link thing, don't
that's
be
kinda,
like James.
Don't
Quit
be
going
like
backwards.
James. But
It's just stupid.
But I
it
was.
just causes problems.
But
because she's already attached.
She started keeping the son away from me just because certain people was over there.
Hurt you.
Blah blah blah. That's the only thing that can hurt me back then.
Right.
Is that you keep my child away from me, and that's what it was a lot. I went through that so much it was ridiculous. Like
again.
Yeah.
Quit going backwards. Once you done, you done.
Yeah.
Ain't no need to going backwards.
Oh yeah, I ain't going backwards now.
It cuts down on the issues because there's already feelings involved, and the more you screw her, the more she feel like she got you still. So it hurt her feelings to see you bringing another person into the situation.
Yeah. But speaking of co-parenting, do you think you should meet your baby daddy's new girlfriend, new whatever?
Absolutely. Going through that right now. I mean, it's like a situation of we playing hide the pickle. Why don't I know who this person is around my child? If it's somebody that you serious with, you doing stuff with the kid, with that person, absolutely. I should know who she is, who he is, whatever the case may be. I should know.
So how old?
I mean, I'm not saying set up a dinner date, but if we at the same place at the same time, there should be an introduction made. Because I'm going through that right now. Where it's like, it's been 1.5 years, 2 years, and the nigga just hide the bitch. Like, where the fuck is she? And then as a woman, I'm like, what the fuck weird shit you on? You constantly in my kid's face, but you don't want to know who her mom is? That's some weird shit. And every time I bring it up, the nigga's a tit for tat nigga. Well, I ain't meet your ex until... It's like you met my ex when y'all were in the same place. I'm not setting up no special dinner, or we ain't meeting at the club, at the bar, at the here or there to do a meet and greet. But if y'all in the same place, I ain't gonna tell him he gotta leave or can't come because you coming. If y'all in the same place, hey, this is such and such, this is such and such, nice to meet you. And y'all can ask whatever questions y'all may have for one another, if any, you know. And that be that.
See, on my...
Because if some shit go wrong, who the fuck I'ma fuck up? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, see, the type of people that I deal with, maybe the type of person I was back in the day, I didn't want to meet your new dude or whatever. Long as... No, but like, why am I meet? I looked at it like, why am I meet you for? I don't know you. I don't care about you, bro. Just don't do nothing. Just don't do nothing to my child. That's where we got a problem. But if other than that, I don't want to see you, bro. Like, you better not come pick up my son at my house with that dude in the car. None of that. Don't come to my door. What? Man, I remember one time this heifer tried to send her boyfriend to my door.
He's still angry.
I'm sorry.
He's still angry.
She tried to send a gentleman
to my door. You ain't got to do all that, but you angry. Like, your feelings is, you done.
No, I remember.
I can't believe she did that still.
No.
It's 13 years later, but he still can't believe she did that.
I'm just saying. She said, well, he was in the area, and he just said he was going to pick up him to bring him back home, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, like, it was crazy.
I feel like she should have told you prior to.
No, she told me that he was outside, and next thing you know, he took it upon himself to knock on the door because the other little boy, well, technically, his older brother, knew where I lived. So he brought the man in the house. I get a knock on my door, and there's some dude sitting outside. He was like, I'm here to pick up so-and-so. No, he wasn't. He was small. I want to knock his head off his shoulders. But, like, you don't come to my door asking to get my son. Like, I don't care if you screwing the baby mama. She need to come. It's one thing she come to the door and you happen to be in the car. That's messed up, too. But that's a little different. I feel a little bit better. But can't no man come to my door and get my child. After that, no. To this day. I mean, maybe because mine is like, they older.
He's still
Ain't
angry.
no need for that, bro. Don't. I think that's disrespectful. Don't send no other man to my door. And I don't know him. It ain't like y'all married. Just some dude that I don't know. That ain't how. And you ain't nowhere to be around. You able-bodied. I had a car. Why did I not drop him off? That I wasn't doing anything. I remember, like, it was just, I don't know. He just took it upon himself. Like, she must have just told him, like, come pick him up type thing. Like, that's what it was. Live in the studio, we have a dog. Do you want to say hi, doggy?
No, get out. Karma is aggravating.
Yeah, but so yeah, that's what it was. And I remember like cussing her out, and I'm like, bruh, say you childish. I don't care.
A little bit. I got to agree with her.
Don't bring.
I feel like she handled it incorrectly, but I've done that. Shoot, if you in my presence and I have a child, so if you taking me, You taking her. You paying to get her hair done just like I'm getting my hair done. If I could go pick up my baby from the hairdresser or whoever, you going to get her. That's why y'all should meet. It shouldn't be no animosity of who this nigga. I want to know who's involved with my child. Like, I don't have no smoke with anybody until it's necessary. But I need to know who's involved, because if some shit jump off, I need to know who I'm gonna fuck up. Because there's too many kids out here getting fucked up emotionally, physically, mentally, because of the other person their parent decided to choose after their other parent left. So I think it's definitely necessary to know to meet that person.
Yeah, but you can't come to my door.
Grow up, would you?
I'll never forget that. Maybe because I saw this growing up. I remember my mama, for whatever reason, she was taking me and my brothers to my dad's house. Mm-hmm. Her, well, soon to be, the new husband, drove and followed her for whatever reason to our dad's house with us. We in one car, he in the next car. He parked all the way down the street, like in my daddy's complex. My daddy come out to get us all the time. He came out to get us, and we had to be 7, 8. Then next thing I know, my daddy looking down the street, and he see him. I don't know if he knew him, because there wasn't no internet back then. Right. But my daddy walked up to the car, knocked on the car, and started mouthing, saying stuff to him, like was about to hit him.
But that situation was different. He was on some creep shit to follow your mom. So that's a...
But my mama let that happen. Like, why? I don't understand why you would do stuff like
He's
that.
Obviously has
she ain't scared of my daddy. What is she?
Not your daddy, the new guy.
Why would she be scared of him?
Because you never know what's going on.
She married him.
Trust me, I just watched Who the Bleep Did I Marry, and this lady was getting tricked out by her husband and didn't want to be tricked out by her husband, who wasn't even her husband at the time. But after that shit happened, she married him 3 weeks later. So again, you just never know. Because I was like, why the fuck would you marry a nigga who's tricking you out?
I mean, no.
Even though you didn't want to be tricked out, like that wasn't your thing.
If you want to be, then
I mean, if you want to be, then you need some help, because I ain't gonna get no pimp to sell my pussy. Like, this my pussy. I'm gonna do it myself. Why I'm giving you the money?
Yeah, nowadays, if you still got a pimp nowadays, that's just poor management, because it's OnlyFans. You can, like, start a Snapchat.
So again, you just never know what the fuck was really happening.
I don't know. I just don't like that. Like, I don't need to see your dude.
When you said that, I was wondering why the fuck she still married him after that. That's what my mind went to. Like, why?
I guess they was going somewhere, but I remember he had a separate car. My mama had a separate car. I didn't see no reason for him to follow us.
I agree. That's why, like I said, as you were telling the story, the first thing my mind went to was, why the fuck would you
I would never
forget
him? That, and that's why maybe that's why I don't like stuff. You don't send no man to my door. Like, what if I was shot?
I mean, then you would be in jail.
Maybe, but see, now check this out. I had a girl in the car with me to go pick up my son. She happened to be at the corner store. Then she want to get out the car and say something smart to the other girl. She tried to say stuff to the girl I was with and everything, and they was arguing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, toxic. No, like what? Like, she gonna be around, so give him here, and we going. He had to be like 1 or 2. It was in Walnut Hills. Never forget it.
Yeah, I just think that is weird. Like, I wouldn't say force it on the opposite parent if they don't want to do it, but if they feel like they want to do that, I think it should happen.
Yeah, me as a guy, I don't want to, if I'm messing with you, I don't want to go get your daughter from her dad's house, because I don't want to be in that situation.
But you can't mess with me, because I would definitely send whoever.
Like, not just out of blue. No, like that's
no,
that
it wouldn't
cool.
be out the blue. Like
that's
I said,
weird.
I felt like the communication was off in y'all situation.
Yeah. And even then, I ain't going to knock on the door. Come on in. You can walk to the car.
Messages, so you just
like, yeah, you know, I'm outside. That's one thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm not.
I remember when my ex and my current guy met. I was actually in the hospital, so they met in that situation. My ex was bringing my daughter up to see me, and my ex was there just taking care of me, I guess. Making my snacks, my food, my whatever.
Whoa.
But I ain't like, when I knew that my ex was coming with my baby, I didn't send my dude out. I didn't say, hey, you got to leave because they coming up here.
Yeah.
You know? Like I said, I'm not going to set up nothing special to make it happen. But if y'all in the same place at the same time, I think it's definitely necessary. But with my situation, it's like my ex, even though me and her have been at the same place, at the same time, on numerous occasions, he's like, you stay in this corner, you stay in that corner. I don't want y'all to see each other. You stay in this room, you stay in here. I just think that shit is dumb. Like, on Thanksgiving, I went to take my daughter over his mom's house. And then when my baby come back home, she was like, oh, yeah, they both were outside in the car. And it's like, what the fuck you know what I look like for? And I don't know what you look like for, but you sitting in my kid face. Like, I just think that's so weird.
I mean, I showed my girlfriends or new people I deal with, I show you what my baby mom look like. You could be in the club and she might, you know what I'm saying, you never know. So I always show.
Yeah, like I said, it's weird.
She crazy. If you see her,
yeah,
go the other way, cause you know. But she ain't gonna say nothing to you. I had a girlfriend of mine one time call me and say, "Hey, your baby mama in here." Da 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 da. I'm like, what she looks? She said, "I know who bleep bleep is and da 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 da." And she in here with so and so, that same girl that was on Facebook talking da 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 da. I was like,
I was not in there with your baby mama. No,
she was.
No, I don't even do the club. That ain't my thing.
Yeah. So, but I don't.
So, as far as what child support, like, what are the reasons do you think somebody should be on child support? Ooh. Like, in my situation,
there should be no spiteful reason. It should be to help take care of the child.
So I think that, personally, my opinion on child support, I think there are 3 reasons you get put on child support. Mm-hmm. Anger. I feel like if you just ain't taking care of the baby, I feel basically 2. I feel like them the only 2.
I think I got put on child support is because they didn't want to lose their benefits and they were spiteful.
Oh, yeah, that was my number 3. You're right. That was my number 3. That if you with somebody who is, I couldn't think of it, but yes, that's my number 3. That if you with somebody or had a baby with somebody that's on assistance that choose to continue to be a bum after they have a baby, that's the other reason. Because I remember having that conversation with one of my exes. He was like, yeah, my baby mama, pretty good baby mama, but I got child support. And I'm like, why? If you got your kid every weekend, you provide it when necessary.
Hello.
What's the reason? You know, I would have never done that to my baby daddy for the simple fact I've always been a breadwinner, so it wasn't no issue with financially providing for her. But I also feel like we created this baby together, so why am I the only person providing for her? Yeah. You already non-existent as far as being present in her life. It's like once we broke up, you left, your family don't mess with her, and so on and so forth. So now I gotta financially be responsible for everything. And it goes back to, again, although you pissed about being on child support, when shit jump off, even if your baby mama had a job, she would still be the one having to take off because your kid is sick. Yeah. But those are situations that the primary parent deals with. Yeah. I mean, now it's a little easier with work from home jobs and the ability to possibly work from home. Yeah. But that's something, as the primary caretaker, you have to deal with that. Oh, the kid's sick, the kid may get suspended, or whatever the case may be. The bus didn't come if you have children that ride the bus. And you stuck figuring it out. You know, we usually the ones having to find and pay for babysitters because the kid is primarily with us. Those are usually things that the non-custodial parent don't have to worry about. So yeah, your child support sucks, but I mean, coming from somebody from my perspective, it's like, shit, me having to call off work sucks. I ain't want to use my vacation for this sick kid or this bad kid or whatever the case may be. But that's something that you would never have to experience. I'm all for allowing the man to get the same shit I'm getting when it comes to these kids. I want you to have to call out. I want you to take them to doctor's appointments. I want you to do all of that.
Yeah. I don't want to pay child support though.
But he don't want to take off because he don't want to lose his job. But that's
because I'm on child support. Now, if I wasn't, then maybe I wouldn't have a problem.
Maybe, which means he would still have a problem. No. Yeah, he would still have a problem. Because again, those are unexpected absences, so you got to risk your job. But those are things that single parents, mothers are risking every day. Like I see parents in the girls' room like, hey, I need somebody to watch my kid. Like, I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm going that far to a bunch of strangers, but it does get that bad where you just like, I don't have nobody to watch my kid. I'm trying to keep my job. What can I do? You know, it's plenty of mothers that's just single parents in general, because it goes both ways. They're single fathers too. You know, it's depressing. You got to choose if y'all gonna eat today because you had to miss work all these days and your check is short, you might not be able to pay your bills. And then that child support comes in handy, unless your baby daddy like mine and just don't pay it. So every 6 months you have to text the white people like, so what's up? What y'all gonna do?
Yeah, what you should do if you really don't want to pay child support, but you got to. No,
that's what I'm
that's not what I was gonna say.
Go
I was
to
gonna
hell.
say go work at like Wendy's or
Go
something
to
like
hell.
that.
Again,
That way,
don't be like James.
your money,
because you're
you know
punishing
what
the
I'm saying?
kid. Don't be like James.
I know somebody child support who's $16 a month, and that mama is salty right now.
That's some bum shit. Again, don't.
How
don't
you
be
even
like
ask
James.
for $16 a month?
That's trifling. That you okay with even providing that, because you try.
Nah, that's what the white man said.
That's what he said, but that's because of what you do. He's doing.
Yeah,
They
he
ain't just say
purposely
that.
got a lower paying job to make it small.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you trying to punish your baby mama, but in turn, who's really suffering?
Yeah,
Because if you stressing out your baby mama, she then has to try to keep it together to handle your child.
Right.
So I don't really feel like y'all should do as James said. Don't do that.
Don't be like
Because then your kid might be at home get beat up by their mama because she stressed the fuck out, and you dropped your ice cream on the ground, and that shit just you dropped your bowl of cereal, you spilled some milk, and then she gonna knock your fucking head off because she got so much going on because your bum ass daddy only paid $16 in child support if he paid it. And that's what's fucked up is he probably don't even pay that shit.
Yeah.
But these are the same niggas living lavish, got on name brand from head to toe, at the club popping bottles with they niggas, drinks on them, da 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 da. And I'm trying to figure out when are men going to step up and say to their male friends that they know ain't shit as fathers, bruh, what's up with that? Your kids ain't asked to be here, because how can you be a great father and a great friend to a nigga who do the shit that James be suggesting?
Don't say do it.
I said suggested. How do you do that? Because I couldn't sit around and watch my friends be bum ass bitches.
Sure, because when it come to
and don't
guys
say
though,
nothing.
we don't care what
I'm
they
about to say
do.
that thing hard.
Well, yeah. But guys, we don't care. We don't
But you
think
should,
about that.
because these children
We
are our
don't ask.
future.
Yes.
You don't have to ask. You see, you know, if you have your kids and you can't do shit because you got to do something for your kid and that nigga ain't never got his kid. My baby daddy couldn't tell you what school my daughter go to. My baby daddy couldn't tell you shit about my baby. What size clothes she wear, what her favorite color is. Like, come on. I think men need to start handling these men. Like, bruh, you ain't going to the club with us. Go get your kid. Why you out every weekend and you ain't never got your kids?
We don't ask these type of questions.
You don't have to
When men
ask.
get
If you
together,
around,
the
if you
only
around,
question
you
we
know.
asked is where the hoes at.
Nah. Y'all daughters about to be the hoes. Like, come on now.
I mean, that's tough.
For real.
I'm glad I ain't got daughters.
I mean, really. Because we ain't young no
but guys
more.
don't act that. So
You
you
don't
think,
have to ask to know.
But it's girls out there too that be all out at the club and they know they babies.
I just addressed that.
Yeah.
I'm saying it goes both ways, because ain't no way I'm about to do what the fuck y'all allowing. We're going to have to take a commercial break, y'all.
Yeah.
Gotta handle something. Be back in a sec.
Yeah. Check out this commercial from
These nuts not coming.
Nah,
that's
Roy.
what these niggas can suck on.
Roy Butler sex store. Check that out. What's these